In this video, we'll take a look at the different ways that you can define your materials in CabinetSense and how that can affect what gets exported. I have 5 different examples, and every cabinet is the same. So for each cabinet, I am using carcass material. On the right end, I've switched it to use the millwork material. And finally, I have a pocket that I'm going to machine from the outside, 5 millimeters deep, and again drilling from the outside of the material. So let's take a look at the different pallets. In this first example, I am simply using maple as the substrate material for both the carcass and the millwork. So what CabinetSense infers from this is that the maple is two-sided maple and both sides are of the same quality. If you have your DFX export set to optimize drilling from either face, you're giving CabinetSense permission to flip the part where necessary so that it can try to machine all parts in one pass. So what this means for this pocket is the top part is going to be flipped so we can do the pocket on the first pass. Everything else, all the other parts, will be machined from the inside or the interior side. So I have already gone and exported all of the jobs. And let's take a look at the results. So on our first example, we have sheet good maple, and it's 16 millimeter or approximately 5/8 of an inch. Inside of that, we have all of our parts. So the top part will actually be flipped so we can machine that pocket from the outside. Let's go on to example 2. In this example, we have our substrate again set at maple, but this time we are setting instructions. So we're telling CabinetSense that for the carcass, the good side of the maple sheet will be on the inside, and for the millwork, the good side of the sheet will be on the outside. So now this is telling CabinetSense that indeed both sides or both faces of the sheet are of differing quality. When we go ahead and export the job, we're now getting 2 different sets of exports. We have our good side down, which will be our millwork. So the right end will have its good side placed down when it's doing the machining. And there's our right end. On our good side up, that's the inside, all the other parts. So now we have our back, deck, top, etc., all being machined from the inside. However, that pocket, which is being machined from the outside of the top, now requires a flip operation. So that individual part will need to be flipped over to do the pocket. Let's go on to our third example. Now our second, third, fourth, and fifth example all will have the same results. The only difference will be how we've defined our materials. So in P1, we are simply saying which is the good side in, which is the good side out. In example 2, we've renamed it. So we've chosen a material called maple, but we've decided to use our own description of the material for our shop material. Taking a look at P2, so now the only difference is the name. It's called maple veneer rather than maple. Let's go on to our third example. This time around, we've decided to use different textures. So we've chosen a maple inside, a plywood substrate, and a maple exterior side. And the same thing, again, for the carcass. Again, the only difference being which is the good side in and good side out. Now we're seeing how CabinetSense will document the material. So it's good side down, maple, plywood, and maple. Let's go to our fifth example. In this example, we've decided to have different images. So we've got a maple good side image and a maple not so good side image. So a common North American standard is like an A1 sheet, an A2, a B2, where the letter signifies the good side quality and the number indicates the inferior side quality. So on our millwork, we've got our good side being on the outside, and on our carcass, the good side is on the inside. So in this case, we don't really need to have our instructions, because when we export, CabinetSense uses the sheet names or the material names, so Maple 2, plywood, Maple A, which is different from Maple A, plywood, Maple 2. And the inside is always the first one listed. So the operator knows to put the good side or the Maple 2 side up when he's doing this set of processing or machining, and Maple A is the good side, so it needs to go up on the final set. That's it. Thanks for watching.